He called Social Security office and he had 38 points. He was 2 points away from meeting the requirement in order to have Social Security. And he called the Social Security office and was like, I'm trying to, get qualified. And they were like, yeah, you don't qualify because you're missing a point or two. And he was like, well, can I pay into it? What can I do? How do I get my point? And they were like, well, you got to go to work. You have to work. And so he came to me and we were trying to figure it out. And I explained to him, your points for getting qualified for Social Security depend on how you file your taxes. And a lot of self-employed hair professionals don't know that. And so they try so hard to lessen the amount of money that they are paying in taxes when that's actually hurting them to qualify for Social Security later. So what I explained to him, I was like, okay, yes, you're 65, but you're still cutting hair. So in order for you to get your Social Security next year, we just need to do X, Y, and Z. He was blown away. He was like, wait a minute. They told me I needed to go find a job. I said, yeah, but you have a job. You work for yourself. You're a barber. He was like, it was like his mind was like blown away. He was like, wait a minute, wait. They told me I had to find a job. I said, yeah, you created a job. You're a barber. And so I explained to him how we do it. And we've been doing it in 2025, setting him up and doing it the right way. So as of the end of the year, 2025, he will have his extra 2 points and he will be able to collect Social Security. And he's just like, I cannot believe I will be able to have Social Security. And he's never worked for anyone else a day in his life.
Amazing.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I'm really excited for him because he's going to be able to collect Social Security. And he's like, okay, I can finally stop working. Like, I don't have to cut hair. Like, I can cut hair if I want to, but now I don't have to. He's married. His wife worked in the government for many, many years. So she's already collecting retirement and Social Security. But, he's like, yes, she has her retirement, but I want to bring in some of my own money without having to work so much, as I get older. Like, I want to enjoy my grandkids. I want to live. And so now, starting next year, he'll be able to collect his Social Security, having never worked for anybody else in his life except being a barber for many, many years. And, he's in his 60s. So it's a great story, but this is the type of impact that we have, and so this is like real world stuff. And, the coaching program talks about it. And so the woman that's in the cohort right now, when we got to this savings module, we logged into her Social Security account to see how many points that she has. She was blown away. She already has enough points. So when she hits 65, she'll be able to retire and get Social Security. Now, I know some people argue, well, Social Security is not going to be around. Okay, well, they've been saying that for like 50 years. It's still around for right now, okay? And so you either want it or you don't. Like, I'm not here to argue with you. You know what I mean? But we want to get you qualified for it so that if it's still around, right? Let's just, play into the critics. If it's still around, yeah, I want you to get the money. So she's going to get it. And then the only thing that she has to do moving forward as a hairstylist, she just has to make sure she continues to file taxes, showing her income. So she was just, again, blown away. And she was like, oh my God, what in the world did I just uncover here? She was like, people don't know this. And I'm like, I know they don't know because they're not doing a roots course.
And out of curiosity, how old is she?
She is in her 40s.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So from now until when she hits 65, it's all a win situation.
It's a win situation. And here's the thing. Zoe, here's the thing. She doesn't even need to stay a hairstylist if she doesn't want to. She doesn't even have, like, this is something that she hits her points. She can do whatever she wants. I mean, she can go into something completely different. She can start a new business, whatever she wants to do. This now she's set, because once you hit the points, you don't lose the points. So she hit the point. She's already there. Now it's just a matter of, what is she going to do from now until eligible for getting, Social Security? What is she going to do to increase the amount of money that she would receive in Social Security? And so a lot of hair professionals are working for themselves. They've never worked a W-2 job before. And so they're under the assumption that they won't have retirement. or that they won't get Social Security. But no, it doesn't depend on you having a W-2 job, whether you get Social Security or not. And so that 15.3%, let's talk about it. So most entrepreneurs, right, they are trying to avoid really the 15.3% that we talk about. But it's that 15.3% that's actually going towards your Social Security and your Medicare. And so I'm not saying that Social Security should be someone's only retirement plan. I'm 1,000%, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that, you know, you have people out here saying you need to retire and do X, Y, and Z to retire, put all this money in the stock market or mutual funds or, real estate. That's great for those who are going to do it. But let's be real, the overwhelming majority of people are not going to do those things. And so they're going to have to rely on Social Security. And so by them paying the least amount into Social Security, they're messing themselves up for retirement because they're not going to buy, commercial real estate. They're not going to invest in the stock market. Like, I'm just going off of what the average person is doing. And so the average person needs to be doing this, even if it's just as a backup.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
As a first step, at least.
At least. I'm not saying this should be your ceiling of what you get in retirement. What I'm saying is that it needs to be a part of your retirement mix. Like, continue to do what you want to do. Like, yes, if you want to limit how much you're paying in this 15.3%, yes, get an S Corp. Limit how much you're paying here, but make sure that you're using the savings that you're getting from those paying less taxes to actually invest in something that's going to help you in retirement. Don't use the extra money that you're saving to buy a new Benz or to, buy a Gucci bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. If you're going to save the money on taxes, put it towards something that's going to help you later on in life, an asset, something that's going to have a return on your investment. Don't buy a liability, or don't increase your lifestyle because you're only going to hurt yourself in the long run, where you would have been better off claiming more money because now at least you got retirement.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the messenger, right?
Yeah.
So this I get pumped up about this. I can imagine you see the energy switch for me.
Yeah, I do. I think it's because it directly ties to a huge impact in people's lives. I can understand that so many people don't know about this. For example, as per my understanding, I thought that you needed to be employed by someone else, like by a company, in order to be able to save up for retirement with a Social Security. And knowing that you can be an entrepreneur, work for yourself, and still get there as a backup plan, as a floor, like you say, is amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And most people don't, right? And so, especially with this industry of hair professionals, they don't know this stuff, and so they just feel like they're going to be cutting hair, styling hair forever and never being able to retire. I think there was like a joke that I read on Facebook, and it was just like, barbers don't retire, they fade away. No. And so it's like, okay, let's not have that be the reality. Let's save for retirement. Let's not have you fade away.